What if I told you that blurry vision, dry eyes, and trouble seeing at night aren't just signs of aging, but warning signs that your eyes are missing something crucial, and that just one small change could protect your eyesight for years to come? Stick with me, this might be the most important 10 minutes you spend on your health today. Have you ever picked up your favorite book, the one you've read so many times you could quote it by heart, only to find yourself squinting at the words? Or maybe you were trying to read a text on your phone, and suddenly the letters looked a little fuzzier than you remember? So what do? We rub our eyes, adjust the glasses, maybe reach for a brighter lamp, and then we shrug it off with a sigh and say, well, I guess this is what happens after 50. Sound familiar? But let me ask you something. What if that slow blur creeping into your vision isn't just age knocking on the door? What if your body is trying to send you a quiet message, one you've been too busy or too kind to yourself to really hear? Because here's a truth that doesn't get nearly enough attention. Your eyes don't just weaken because you're getting older. They weaken because they're not getting what they need. Now, you've probably heard it all before. Eat more carrots, just get stronger glasses. It's normal, just part of aging. But what if I told you there's more to the story? That hidden in your daily diet, or rather, missing from it, is a simple nutrient that could be the difference between preserving your eyesight and watching it slowly fade? Yes, really. One specific vitamin. One that often gets overlooked, even by people who care deeply about their health. This vitamin isn't just another health fad. It's been scientifically shown to support the retina, protect the eyes from age-related damage, and in some cases, even improve how clearly you see the world. Think about that for a moment. Clearer vision, not just preserved, but possibly improved, from a simple nutritional shift. Now I know, it sounds almost too good to be true, but that's exactly why we're here today. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what's happening to your eyes after 50, why it happens, and what you can do starting today to support your vision naturally without relying solely on glasses, surgeries, or guesswork. We'll also look at the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to eye health and the one change that could make a world of difference in your daily life. So if you've ever felt that quiet worry when driving at night, or found yourself inching the newspaper farther and farther away, I invite you to stick with me, because by the end of this, you won't just understand what's going on, you'll have real, practical steps to protect your vision, maintain your independence, and continue seeing the beauty in every detail around you. And hey, if you care about keeping your vision clear as you age, do me a favor. Drop a comment below that says clear vision so I know you're here listening and ready to take this next step in protecting your health. Are you ready? Let's talk about the vitamin your eyes have been silently asking for, and why now is the time to finally give them what they need. Let's be honest, most of us have grown up believing that fading eyesight is just a part of life. You hit a certain age, and suddenly the font on the pill bottle looks smaller. Nighttime driving feels a little riskier, and your glasses become your constant companion. But here's something you probably haven't heard enough. Vision loss isn't always just old age. In many cases, it's a nutritional issue, plain and simple. Yes, you heard that right. What your eyes are missing might not be youth, it might be fuel. You see, our eyes are incredibly complex and delicate. They rely on a constant supply of nutrients, vitamins, antioxidants, and minerals to keep the retina functioning, protect against damage, and regenerate worn-down tissues. And after the age of 50, the demand for these nutrients doesn't just stay the same, it increases. But at the same time, our body's ability to absorb and use them, that declines. It's a double whammy. Your eyes need more, and your body gives them less. And here's the kicker, most of us don't even realize it's happening. We chalk it up to normal aging. We wait until it's bad enough to notice before we act. But by then, the damage may already be underway. Think of your eyes like a garden. If you water it occasionally but forget the nutrients in the soil, the plants might still grow, but slowly, less vibrantly, and eventually, not at all. It's the same with your vision. You might not see the effects overnight, but over time, the deficiency shows. And it's not about rare, exotic vitamins you've never heard of. It's about essential foundational nutrients that your eyes absolutely depend on: vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, lutein, and zeaxanthin. Unfortunately, many common multivitamins either don't include these in the right forms or don't offer enough of them to make a real difference. And even if you eat a balanced diet, aging, digestion, and absorption issues can mean you're still not getting what your eyes need. So what does this mean for you? It means that if your vision has started to decline, if the dark seems darker, the letters seem fuzzier, or your eyes just don't feel as sharp as they used to, it might not be inevitable. It might be correctable. Not with another prescription, but with the right nutrients that give your eyes the tools to protect and heal themselves. This silent decline doesn't have to continue. You can interrupt it. You can reverse it, or at the very least, slow it down significantly. The first step is understanding what your body is missing, and that's exactly what we'll explore in the next section. I'll introduce you to Linda, a retired librarian who thought she just needed new glasses, until one small blood test changed everything. So stay with me, because what helped Linda might be the same thing your eyes are quietly asking for too. Let me tell you about Linda. She's 72, a retired librarian who spent her entire life surrounded by stories, real ones, fiction, poetry, biographies. If it was printed on paper, she read it. But lately, something had changed. Her beloved evening reading sessions had become a struggle. At first, she thought maybe the lamp wasn't bright enough. Then she tried switching glasses, then sitting closer to the window during daylight hours. But no matter what she did, the letters still looked fuzzy, especially in dim light. And slowly, she began to think, well, this is probably just part of getting older. Sound familiar? But during a routine checkup, just a standard visit, her doctor mentioned something she didn't expect. Linda, you're low in vitamin A. Now that may not sound like a big deal, but for Linda, it explained everything. You see, vitamin A isn't just good for your eyes. It's essential for how your eyes function, especially in low light. Inside the eye, in a small but critical area called the retina, vitamin A helps convert light into signals that your brain can understand. That's how you see at night, or in a dim room, or when headlights are coming at you from the opposite lane. When you're deficient in vitamin A, your eyes struggle to adapt in those low-light conditions. That's what leads to something called night blindness. And if the deficiency goes on for too long, it can lead to something even more serious, permanent damage. Now here's the catch. Most of us think, I eat carrots, so I'm fine. But carrots only give you beta-carotene, a precursor to vitamin A. Your body has to convert that into a form it can actually use. And after age 50, that conversion process slows down. For some people, it barely works at all, which means you could be eating all the carrots in the world and still come up short. What your eyes really need, especially after 50, is retinol, the active form of vitamin A. That comes from foods like eggs, full-fat dairy, and yes, organ meats like liver. But let's be honest, not everyone's excited to start cooking liver, and that's okay. The good news is, there's a simple workaround: high-quality multivitamins or eye supplements that include preformed vitamin A. Look for retinol palmitate or retinol acetate on the label, not just beta-carotene. That way, you're not leaving anything to chance. You're giving your body exactly what it needs, no conversion required. For Linda, this one change made a world of difference. Within a couple of months, her night vision improved. Reading by the fireplace wasn't a struggle anymore. She didn't need stronger glasses, she needed the right nutrition. And if you're someone who's been avoiding evening driving, squinting in restaurants, or constantly adjusting your lighting at home, this could be your answer too. One small adjustment, one overlooked vitamin, one clearer view of the world starting now. Let me introduce you to Mike. He's 74, a retired mechanic who spent most of his life with his hands inside engines, calm, steady, sharp. He could fix anything. But recently, something had started to throw him off: his vision. At first, it was just a few floaters, those little specks that drift across your sight like dust on a windshield. He brushed it off, like many of us do. Just part of aging, he thought. But over time, they became more frequent, and something else started happening too. His focus weakened. Reading fine print, working with tools, even recognizing small details in his workshop, it all got harder. Eventually, Mike went in for an eye exam, and what the doctor told him surprised him. Mike, your eye tissue is thinning, and it's not just age. You're low in vitamin C. Now, most of us think of vitamin C as the immune booster, the orange juice vitamin, right? But what most people don't realize is how absolutely essential vitamin C is for your eye health. Let's break it down. Vitamin C plays two critical roles inside your eyes. First, it strengthens the tiny blood vessels called capillaries that keep oxygen and nutrients flowing to every part of your eye. Second, and maybe even more important, it acts as a powerful antioxidant, fighting off oxidative stress. Now, what's oxidative stress? Think of it like rust building up, not on metal, but on the cells inside your eyes. Over time, it wears down the structures that support your vision. It's triggered by aging, pollution, UV light, and even internal inflammation. And if left unchecked, it can lead to floaters, blurry vision, cataracts, and even macular degeneration. Vitamin C is like your internal cleaning crew. It scrubs away that rust, protects your vision, and keeps things running smoothly. But here's the problem: most people don't get nearly enough vitamin C. Why? Because they rely on one of the biggest myths in nutrition: fruit juice. Yes, orange juice has vitamin C, but it also has a ton of sugar. And that sugar can cancel out many of the antioxidant benefits by causing inflammation and blood sugar spikes. Not great news for your eyes or your overall health. So what should you do instead? Try adding in real, whole sources of vitamin C. Red bell peppers are one of the richest sources, way more than oranges. Kiwi is another powerhouse, and easier on your blood sugar. And if citrus bothers your stomach, look for a buffered vitamin C supplement. It's gentler on digestion, but still gives you the protection your eyes need. That's exactly what Mike did. He started adding colorful veggies to his meals, cut way back on fruit juice, and took a high-quality vitamin C supplement every day. Within weeks, the floaters became less noticeable. His vision felt steadier, more stable. But more than that, he felt like he was finally doing something to protect his eyes, instead of just watching things get worse. And that's the power of vitamin C, not just for your immune system, but as one of your best defenses against aging eyes. So if you've noticed specks, blurs, or just a general decline in focus, it might not be just age. It might be your eyes asking for help, and vitamin C could be the first step to answering that call. Let's talk about Carol. She's 68, a retired school teacher who always started her mornings with a brisk walk through her neighborhood. Sunshine on her face, fresh air in her lungs, it was part of her routine. So when she began noticing that her vision was getting a little blurrier, a little less sharp, she assumed it was screen time. Too much scrolling, too many video calls with the grandkids. She tried taking breaks from her tablet, adjusted her lighting, blamed it on digital eye strain. But the truth was, something deeper was going on. At her next checkup, her doctor ran a few basic tests, and one result jumped out. "Carol, your vitamin D levels are dangerously low." Carol blinked. "But I walk outside every single day. And maybe you've thought the same thing. I get sun. I must be fine." But here's what most people don't realize. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into vitamin D. Even if you're out in the sun regularly, your body may not be turning those UV rays into usable vitamin D the way it used to. Add in sunscreen, clothing, time of day, and climate, and it's no wonder so many older adults are deficient without even knowing it. But what does that have to do with your eyes? A whole lot, actually. Vitamin D is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatories in your body, and inflammation is a major culprit behind a condition called macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of vision loss in adults over 50. When vitamin D levels are low, the delicate tissues in your retina become more vulnerable. The result? Blurry vision, distortion, fatigue, and in some cases, even permanent vision loss that sneaks up silently. But here's the good news. This is one of the easiest deficiencies to correct. First, ask your doctor for a simple blood test. It's fast, painless, and can reveal a lot about what's going on inside your body. If your levels are low, and they often are after 60, you'll likely be advised to take a vitamin D3 supplement. D3 is the most effective form for absorption, especially for older adults. That's exactly what Carol did. She started with a low, steady dose. Her doctor monitored her levels, and within a few months, something beautiful happened. Her vision began to feel clearer. Not perfect, but noticeably more stable. Her eyes felt less tired, more focused. It wasn't a miracle. It was biology finally given what it needed to thrive. So if you've been chalking up your cloudy vision to too much screen time, or if your eyes feel more strained even when you're not reading, it might be time to look a little deeper. Because sometimes the problem isn't in your habits, it's in your cells. And vitamin D could be the key to turning that around. Now let's talk about George. He's 75, a retired builder whose hands are still steady from decades of carpentry and construction. He's practical, not one to fuss or complain, but recently, something had been bothering him. His eyes, they felt dry, gritty, like he had dust stuck under his eyelids that just wouldn't go away. Some days his vision would blur for no reason, even when he was wearing his glasses. He blinked more often, used drops, rinsed his eyes. Nothing seemed to help. Finally, during a routine eye exam, his ophthalmologist asked him a question he hadn't expected. "George, are you getting enough vitamin E?" He paused. "I'm not sure," he said. Like many of us, he'd heard of vitamin E in passing, mostly in skin creams or as a general antioxidant, but never really thought of it as something critical for his eyes. But it turns out, it is. Vitamin E is one of the most important and overlooked nutrients when it comes to protecting your eyes as you age. It acts like a suit of armor, shielding the delicate tissues inside your eyes from damage caused by light exposure, aging, and oxidative stress. But there's more. Vitamin E also plays a surprising role in tear production. Yes, your actual tears. When your eyes aren't producing enough moisture, that's when you start to feel the dryness, irritation, and that scratchy grit so many older adults quietly live with. It's not just uncomfortable, it's a sign that your eyes are struggling to stay lubricated and protected. And the bad news? Most modern diets are falling short. Why? Because foods that are naturally rich in vitamin E, like almonds, sunflower seeds, and avocados, aren't exactly everyday staples for everyone. Plus, many cooking oils we use today are heavily refined, stripped of their natural vitamin content by the time they hit our plates. That's why vitamin E deficiency is so common and so silent. But here's the good news. It's incredibly easy to fix. George started small, a handful of almonds in the morning, a spoonful of sunflower seeds sprinkled into his yogurt, and, on his doctor's advice, a mixed tocopherol supplement, one that includes multiple forms of vitamin E, not just the standard alpha tocopherol. And within weeks, he noticed the difference. The dryness eased. That gritty feeling? Gone. His eyes felt more comfortable, more stable, even his blurred vision became less frequent. And for George, who had always relied on his eyes to work with precision, that comfort was more than physical, it was peace of mind. So if you've been experiencing dry eyes, that random blurriness, or that sensation like there's something in your eye that just won't quit, it might not be allergies, fatigue, or just one of those things. It might be your eyes calling out for vitamin E. And now that you know, you have the power to do something about it. Let me tell you about Nancy. She's 75, a lifelong knitter with a love for creating delicate, beautiful things, baby blankets, scarves, even lace doilies that looked like snowflakes. Her hands still knew every stitch by heart. But not long ago, something changed. She started struggling to see the pattern. The fine threads blurred together. The colors didn't pop like they used to. Faces on video calls looked just a bit out of focus, and reading her tablet every morning took more effort. Nancy assumed it was the screens. Maybe her glasses needed updating. Maybe her eyes were just getting tired. But at her next eye appointment, her optometrist surprised her. He didn't recommend stronger lenses. He didn't rush her into any procedures. Instead, he asked about her diet, and then made a very specific suggestion. You should consider taking lutein and zeaxanthin. Now, you might be wondering, what are those? They're not exactly household names like vitamin C or D, but when it comes to preserving the clarity of your central vision, they're two of the most powerful nutrients your eyes can get. Here's why. Inside your eye, there's a tiny but vital area called the macula. It's the part responsible for your detailed vision, the kind that lets you read, sew, recognize faces, or follow a knitting pattern. As we age, the macula becomes especially vulnerable to damage from blue light, oxidative stress, and free radicals. This is where lutein and zeaxanthin come in. These nutrients naturally concentrate in the macula. Think of them as internal sunglasses filtering out harmful blue light, reducing glare, and protecting your vision from the inside out. They absorb the stress so your eyes don't have to. For Nancy, this was a game changer. Her doctor recommended a supplement with at least 10 milligrams of lutein and 2 milligrams of zeaxanthin, a dose high enough to make a real difference. She started taking it every day, and about 6 months later, she picked up her needles again. The stitches were clearer, the fuzziness faded. The joy she thought she had to give up came back. Now here's the part most people miss. Most regular multivitamins don't contain meaningful amounts of lutein or zeaxanthin, if they include them at all. And even though you can get them from leafy greens like spinach or kale, your body's ability to absorb those nutrients from food declines with age. That's why vision-specific supplements are often recommended after 60. They take the guesswork out. You know exactly what your eyes are getting and what they're not missing. So if you've noticed the small print getting harder to read, or if your world just feels a little less crisp, it may not be about screens or lighting. It might be your macula asking for help. And giving it the protection it needs could mean the difference between fading clarity and a future where you keep doing the things you love, with the people who matter most. Let's pause for a moment. Because what we've been talking about, these vitamins, these nutrients, these changes, they aren't just about eye charts or prescription lenses. They're about your life. Losing your vision isn't just about needing stronger glasses. It's about what that loss takes away. It's the moment you stop driving at night because headlights feel like a glare. It's the day you stop sewing because the needle just won't thread. It's holding the newspaper at arm's length and still not making out the words. It's not being able to see your grandchild's smile as clearly as you used to, or the expression on your partner's face across the dinner table. And it's not just frustrating, it's quietly devastating. Because when your eyesight starts to fade, so does your confidence, your freedom, and sometimes your sense of self. That's why this conversation matters so much. Because the truth is, you're not powerless, and this doesn't have to be your story. The science is clear, your eyes can be protected. Not with some miracle cure, but with something far more reliable: nutrition. The kind that's backed by research. The kind that your body and your vision have been quietly craving all along. Vitamins A, C, D, and E, lutein and zeaxanthin. These aren't just letters on a supplement bottle. They're your shield, your toolkit, your opportunity to take back control in a world that often tells us to just accept aging as decline. But aging doesn't have to mean fading. It can mean getting smarter, living wiser, and choosing intentionally how we take care of ourselves. So if you've ever thought, I guess this is just what happens when you get older, I'm here to tell you, no, it's not. Not always, not completely. You have options. And the simple step of adding the right nutrients could help you see better, feel more confident, and live with greater independence. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about preserving the life you love, the books, the hobbies, the laughter, the people. You deserve to see them clearly, not just in memory, but right now. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to bring everything together. We've talked about 5 powerful nutrients, 5 allies that your eyes need now more than ever, especially after 50. Vitamin A supports your retina and helps you see clearly in low-light conditions. Vitamin C strengthens eye tissues and protects against oxidative stress that leads to aging and damage. Vitamin D reduces inflammation and shields your retina from macular degeneration. Vitamin E repairs cell damage and provides relief for dry, gritty, tired eyes. Lutein and zeaxanthin, the dynamic duo that sharpens your central vision and filters harmful blue light. Each one plays a different role, but together they form a complete system to help protect, preserve, and even enhance your eyesight as you age. And now comes the most important step: action. Go to your medicine cabinet or pantry, pick up that multivitamin bottle or the one you've been meaning to take. Flip it over. Look closely at the label. Are these 5 nutrients listed? Are they there in the right forms, like retinol instead of just beta-carotene or D3 instead of D2? If not, that's okay. You haven't failed. You're not behind. But now, you know. And knowledge is power, especially when it comes to protecting something as precious as your sight. Because here's the truth. The decisions you make today, what you eat, what you supplement, how you take care of your body, those decisions can shape the quality of your life tomorrow. So don't wait. Your eyes have been working hard for you every day. It's time to give something back. Support them, nourish them, protect them. And if this video helped you understand your eye health in a new way, take just a second to click the like button. It helps more than you know. And while you're here, go ahead and subscribe to the Elder's Guide, because this is your space where aging is respected, your health is a priority, and your life's next chapter is full of strength, clarity, and care. Let us know in the comments, are you already taking one of these vitamins? Or is there one you're thinking of adding after what we shared today? Your story could help someone else feel seen, understood, and encouraged. Because getting older doesn't mean giving up. It means growing wiser and learning how to care for this one body and these one pair of eyes that carry us through it all. So thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to learn, grow, and protect your vision one smart, simple step at a time. And as always, I'll see you in the next video right here on the Elder's Guide.